when you're swimming outdoors, you know, the athletes, should they be doing just continuous endurance swimming? Should they do some intervals? Should they do some sighting to buoys? And the next extension to that is, how should you swim your stroke, trying to keep your direction in the right focus? And yeah, really, that's the main thing I'm keen to hear from you.
Yeah, it's really interesting to look at the Strava data after a race. So you look at the most recent one I looked at was a little while ago, but I think it was Challenge Melbourne. So it was the half distance race. And some people could have saved 4 to 6 minutes on their swim time just by going straight. That 1900 swim turned into 2400 meters with some of the people that I was looking at. So if we think of that alone, you need to train so much, or you need to put a lot of effort into your swimming to save that much time over the course of 1.9. So if we can just get that sighting right, that is going to make a huge difference. So I think a lot of times people don't sight enough. Some people will go like 20, 30 strokes without looking up. And if you have a tendency to swim off course, you're definitely going to go off course. So one of the things that causes people to go off course is a crossover. It's probably one of the most common ones. So if your left hand is coming over and crossing over, then quite often we find that will press out, and that's going to turn you off to the right. So a crossover on, let's say, your right arm will lead you to go left. So if you know that you drift off to one side, it could be because of a crossover. And in terms of sighting, obviously it depends on the race, but yeah, and depends how many people are around and that kind of thing. But I think most people should be sighting anywhere from like every 7 to 20 strokes, depending on the conditions. And if you can do that without breaking your rhythm, then that's obviously going to be a massive benefit. So most people, when they first start open water swimming, their sighting technique is head down, then lift up for a bit, and then go back down. And obviously the legs drop. It's hard work. If you can get the sight and breathe method happening, it's going to be so much easier, and you'll just find it fits into your natural rhythm and style so much better. So the sight and breathe method that I normally teach is when one hand is reaching forwards, that's going to be the hand that will sort of support you. Then you want to lift up, aim for crocodile eyes, like eyes just above the surface or just high enough where you can see the buoy or wherever you're going. And then turn the head to the side as that other arm's coming over, and breathe, and then go back down. So it's literally sight forwards on one stroke and then breathe on the next stroke. And you'll find that you can do that without losing much speed at all. And that's really the key. Whereas if you're just lifting your head up, you'll probably find you slow down quite a bit. So that's often the method that I like to teach. And look, they're both sort of valid ways to sight. You know, sometimes, you know, you'll look up for 3 strokes and go back down. But I think from my experience, most people don't know how to do that sight and breathe method. And it's really, man, it makes a huge difference once they get it. And it takes like 5 or 10 minutes of practice to get it. So if you know that you can't do it, that could be 5 or 10 minutes really well spent.